Yep.
have our own time.
Voch has joined.
Oh, he joined
Yo,
again.
yo, what's happening, man? What's going on up in here, man?
What's going on, man?
I hope I'm not interrupting. Then I just wanted to bring a little bit of me, a little bit of energy to the party. Is that okay? Is
Man,
that cool?
that's fine, man. That's fine right there, man. Bring a little energy to me, man.
What? I mean, let's just jump in and just talk about what the hell I want to talk about, or do we have something that's lined up protocol right now? What you want me to do, Lo?
Look, we talking Cowboys off season. What they need to bring up this team. Not trying to take a page out of the Eagles playbook, but take a page out of the Eagles playbook.
I'm tired of Cowboys fans comparing us to other people. Listen, Lo.
Talk to me.
In order for humans to survive, right, we need food, water, shelter. In order to be a productive football team in the National Football League, you need quarterback blockers, and quarterback chasers. And when I watch film on Will Hernandez, when I watch film on Will Hernandez, he might be the thing that get this back to what we wanted. You know what I mean? I blame a lot on us kind of failing last year on player execution. We ain't always execute. Jonathan Cooper was solid, but sometimes we don't need solid because our identity is a run first team. We're a run first team. And in order to do that, you need a running back and you need an adequate offensive line. Not just a cool offensive line, but you need your offensive line to be one of them ones to drive it. The Eagles had one of them. I don't like comparing, but the Eagles got a pretty good offensive line. The Tennessee Titans got a pretty good offensive line, right? Our offensive line last year had kind of sort of three new people. We had to deal with Lael learning and figuring it out at the end of the year. We had to deal with Chaz and them, Byron and them, Jonathan and them. But Will Hernandez, if we just plug this cat in at left guard, we ain't got nothing else to worry about.
Hey, man, hold on, man. They calling you Voch Luther King, man, but keep preaching, man.
Let them fly, man. Let them fly. If we look, you remember how, because y'all was talking about Ronald Leary earlier or whatnot.
Right.
Remember how special the DeMarco Murray days made you feel? Last year Zeke had to sit out for 6 games, whatever. But before that, when Zeke played 16 games, how special that made you feel when we would just come out and impose our will on people, or not just, oh boy, just Byron Bell out there. I hope you don't grab no cloth and turn this third down conversion into 3rd and 30. You know what I'm saying? Oh boy, I hope Chaz can move his feet. Will Hernandez ain't got the best technique in the world. I'll say that, but he's not a top 5 pick neither. But Will Hernandez whoops people with bad hand placement, Law. You know what I'm saying? Like he has everything he needs to be great. You can teach him everything else. He's not slow-footed. He's strong, big, powerful dude. He doesn't move nowhere. And pass protection, if he got you, that's it. You're done. That is all. Wrap it up. The run game, he get those big paws on you, you're done. That's it. What I like about him the most, he wants to finish you. He looks to finish you. I was watching film him versus Navy, Army, whatever, Marine football team, whichever one of those football teams, right? And he was trying to pancake this dude, and he wouldn't fall. And you could tell Will Hernandez really wanted this dude on his back, but he wouldn't go. Will Hernandez said, get on your stomach then. And he finished him, Law. And he finished him. You want to talk about dogs? I hear you talk about this all the time, Law. You want dogs on your team?
We need dogs.
Tyron Smith is a gentleman. Travis Frederick is a gentleman. Lael nasty, but we ain't seen him do it in a minute. Will Hernandez is a dog. And I will gladly pay my 19th overall pick for Will Hernandez. I don't want the peanut gallery to come out here talking about why would you spend a first-round pick on an offensive lineman. No, you spending that first-round pick on your offense's identity back. That's what you spending a first-round pick on. Your offense's identity. Right? You want to talk about Dak Prescott? Take the ball out of Dak Prescott's hands. Let Zeke Elliott run it 30 times a game. You want Alfred Morris to be better? Put a better left guard in there and get our identity back. That's what I see with Will Hernandez at left guard, then.
Give the church their money. Voch, man, you laid it down, man. So this is the thing. I don't know, I'm getting an echo. I don't know if from your end or my end. I don't know who end is on. But hey, the thing is from here, I also saw that you put Christian Kirk for the second deal. Is that what you leaning towards too as well, as far as the second pick?
Man, it's going to be a rough bowl of soup to just hope Christian Kirk doesn't get picked in the first round. It's possible, but clearly I take Will Hernandez at 19 because there's a lack of great offensive linemen in the National Football League. We all know that. It's hard to find good offensive linemen. And I think guys like Zach Martin is going to make it easier for guys like Isaiah Wynn, guys like Will Hernandez, guys like Connor Williams, they're Billy Price. You know, we're looking for interior linemen. You know what I'm saying? So I think those guys are potential first round to maybe like the 46th pick. You know what I'm saying? I don't see them leaving the top 50. Okay. Guys like Christian Kirk may stumble within the back part, the early part within that 60 range. He may be in there with Anthony Miller. He may be in there with Cortland Sutton, some of those guys, right? And you can hope that the Cowboys would use one of those compensatory picks and package it up and move from 50 to 45 or so and go get the Dak friendly Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk is as Dak friendly as it gets, probably the most Dak friendly wide receiver in this draft because he runs quick routes. He has great hands. And he's nasty with that yak. You know about that yak, Law? He nasty with that yak. He could take a slant, a bubble, a screen, and turn it into 6. That's what I love about Christian Kirk. Secure hands.
Secure hands. So now looking at Texas Tech film, why they didn't never line him up on the outside? Or was he just eating so much in the inside he didn't need to be lined up on the outside? Why they didn't do that? Or just how their schemes are, you know? Let me know.
That's the big question. They didn't line them up much outside, but you know, if you can take slants and bubbles and screens to the house, that's pretty much where you would line somebody up at. You know, you can run screens from the X position, but you know, they haven't had great quarterback play, and sometimes it's easier to get the ball to the slot guy than the outside guy. I've seen Christian Kirk run some outside, but when you want to take advantage of mismatches, when you want to get the ball to somebody in space, Christian Kirk is better when he has both sides of the field to work with. If you line him up at the X, then he got the left sideline to deal with. You know, just like if you line him up at the Z, he has the right sideline. You line him up at slot, he got the whole field. You put him in motion. You move him around. You do all these type of things, right? So I think Christian Kirk is a number 2 receiver. I wouldn't mind lining him up at the X, you know, or the slot, or at running back. He lined up at running back a few times and ran some routes. Put him anywhere in those spots, and you see the other guys around, you start to eat a little bit. It just happens that Texas A&M quarterback situation was pretty crappy. I don't want to demonetize you, but it was pretty crappy.
Yeah, we got to keep it PG-13. You guys know what I mean. So we got all these guys out there. I said the wide receiving class is so big. You got the DJ Charks of the world. You got the Gallup kid. You got the DJ Moore. You got the Anthony Miller. If you was to put these things outside of Christian Kirk, if you was to rank them, give me a quick thoughts on you ranking those guys. As far as it relates to the Cowboys, what they can do for the Cowboys, where would you rank those guys at?
Well, I think after Calvin Ridley and Christian Kirk, you looking at guys like James Washington, Anthony Miller, Equinemius St. Brown. How about that mouthful right there? I ain't really to rank these guys just yet because I think the combine is very important for wide receivers because, you know, just like you just mentioned with Kirk, like everything he did was pretty much based on what his offense gave him. But what the combine is going to do, they're going to put you in different situations that's going to make you uncomfortable. They're going to make you turn around quick and catch a football. You know, you may not see that in Texas A&M. You may say, okay, you run this bubble and the ball going to take 3 seconds to get to you and you're going to catch it. Not at the combine. They're going to put you in a bad situation. They're going to make you run all the routes. They're going to make you catch balls in all different types of the field. They're going to make you drag your feet on the sideline. And we're going to learn a lot about these guys, a lot about hips and, you know, speed, hands, and all that. So I'm going to wait till the combine before I go around ranking people. But if we don't get Christian Kirk, I mean, it's some options for number 2 receivers. Everybody except Cortland Sutton.
Okay. Good breakdown there too as well. I saw that when you did your film breakdown of Christian, you kind of said his productivity was kind of similar to what we thought that we was going to get with the Odell Beckham. Like you kind of made that analogy, right? Of like what Odell Beckham should have did in college, basically, what he's showing out there on the field now, right?
If you look at Odell Beckham in LSU and Odell Beckham as a Giant, they two different people. Two different people. Where did this come from? Where did this explosion in hand size come from? Now, he still had the freaky catches or whatever, but he wasn't the same dude. I would imagine that Christian Kirk is just like LSU Odell Beckham. New York Giants Odell Beckham, whole nother dude. I ain't even say that. Don't even put those two dudes in the same category. That's freaky athletic, and then there's Christian Kirk. He ain't freaky athletic, but he's quick. He's explosive. He has good hands. He got quick routes. They're smooth. They're sharp. They're crisp. And he's super yak guy. But he ain't Odell Beckham.
Yes, indeed. Derek, man, you got a guy on your team, Sooners, Orlando Brown. You want to hear what Voch have on him? You know?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on him?
I didn't see if he had already done a breakdown or not on him, but I'm curious to hear what you think on Orlando Brown.
Orlando is a big old dude. He's a huge old dude. Apparently, he's lost 20 pounds for every year that he's been in school, whatever. So salute to him for that. Just one thing, just looking at him, he does learn. He learns his job really, really well. You'll see freshman year, he'll have a problem quick setting guys, right? And then he'll get whooped quick setting people. But then he learns how to handle fast guys quick setting. My only, so I feel like once you get him to the league and teach him or whatever, he'll, kind of adapt. But he is slow-footed. It's a big problem. Slow-footed. Sometimes he misses with his hands. And to be that big, I wish he was stronger and nastier. You know what I mean? So, naturally people want to say, hey, put him at guard. At the end of the day, he's still 6'8", 6'9", or something like that.
6'8", yeah, 6'8".
Wow.
I think 6'8", 340.
6 huge is what he is, and that's kind of tall to be talking about. You're playing guard, so you either need to be shorter or you need to bend your knees and get up under people. He plays kind of high sometimes, so we're gonna have to work that out. But being slow-footed and playing kind of high, being big and not being that strong and aggressive, I mean, we're gonna have to see. But I do get positivity when I see him do something bad freshman year and he fixes it by sophomore year. He does this terribly sophomore year, fixes it by next year. You know what I mean? I love that in offense.
Yeah.
So would you flip over a table with the 19th pick, the Dallas Cowboys select Orlando Brown? Would you flip over the table at that point, or would you just say, okay, I'm gonna have to?
I'd be pretty pissed off at 19 if we got Orlando Brown. Not hating on Orlando Brown. I just don't think he's a 19 guy. Orlando's more like
I got him early second.
It depends, man, because how this draft works, guys like Connor Williams is gonna fall. Guys like Martinez Rankin from Mississippi State, McGlinchey's gonna fall. I think he's behind those guys. So late second, early 3, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. But that's just me. I'm not Cleo Lombardi Vostradamus. I can't see the future. But I just got a feeling he's going to go after guys like Connor Williams and Martinez Rankin and Billy Price and Will Hernandez and Isaiah Wynn and, guys like that.
No doubt. So what about this off-season free agency? Do you have a guy for the Cowboys?
I want to sign a free safety because I don't think the draft has a really good free safety. I think if we can finally bring in somebody that can play free safety, it's going to make the corners better. You know what I mean? The corners are good, but Byron's not a great free safety. Byron is more of an athlete. So when you put the entire field in front of him and tell him to figure stuff out, he's not that great. But what he's good at is, hey, you're a big, strong, physical, fast dude. Go line up directly in front of that tight end and chase him. That's what Byron Jones is really good at. So I would rather him play corner than free safety. Jeff Heath, he can see it, but he's not athletic enough to get there. Every time we saw Anthony Brown getting beat deep, we saw Jeff Heath behind him cussing, going, damn. Just, you know what I'm saying? So I think we need someone that's actually a ball hawking, and I don't even want to say ball hawk because it's hard to find them, but a smart, in the right place at the right time free safety that can move the quarterback eyes into a different place. We got 3 strong safeties on this team, maybe 4. Byron can play it. Cheeto can play it. Frazier can play it. Heath can play it. Woods can play it. We got a lot of strong safeties. None of these guys can play free. Woods can play free, but he's a better nickel strong guy. You know what I mean? I want a free safety that can make a quarterback fear a side. You know what I mean? Like, you put your free over here, then you put your best corner on the other side. That's what I would rather us do. And I don't think they have that in the draft. It's a lot of strong safeties in this draft. Guys like Elliott, Ronnie Harrison, Derwin James, Marcus Allen, Ronnie Watts. All those guys are strong safeties to me. That, you know, some of them can play free, but they're not very rangy guys. So we're gonna have to buy somebody that's been doing this already. So Earl Thomas, hey.
He writing letters and everything. Said, I want to be with the Cowboys. Come on, just go ahead and make it happen. Come on, Jerry Jones, make it happen. You know, offer up. What would you give up for him?
Like a round pick?
Mm-hmm.
Well, shucks, man. Cause I like drafting guys, man. I'm a draft dude, man. Give me picks, man. I mean, but if he's really having a turbulent situation with Seattle, I'd imagine a 3 or a 4 would be fine. I mean, he got a big contract too, so a 4 or a 5 would be fine. I don't know, but that's still Earl Thomas. I think Earl just don't want to be there no more, like altogether. So Seattle may be in desperation mode. Hey, man, he's not gonna be with us anyway. Let's just get what we can get. But I don't know, man. I want my picks.
You want your picks. All right, so as we getting ready to wrap this thing up, we've been out here for a minute. Darreck, any thoughts on your mind as far as free agency, off-season moves, draft picks, anything like that?
I need some adjustments from the Cowboys with regard to personnel. You know, we saw last year that this was kind of back. Everything that Dak had in the first year, I think the only real personnel change out we had was ultimately Lucky Whitehead switched out with Switzer. Beyond that, we brought back the entire receiving core and all of that for him, and it just kind of shows how things don't always pan out the same year to year. What works one year doesn't necessarily work the next year. And I think the 2016 team was kind of more built with Romo obviously in mind. So I think it's good that they're looking to finally kind of embrace a little more, what makes for a Dak-friendly offense, and getting a solid receiver who can run a wide tree of routes and has sure hands is one of the best things you can give to Dak, I think, right now. And as you said, it's a deep draft, so hopefully they don't have to panic and jump on a guy in the first couple rounds. I'd like to see a couple defensive guys go before we look at receiver.
Defensive. Okay. And what about you, Voch? Before we wrap this thing up, what would you like to see what happened? Pretty much you said it all already, but just repeat what you had to say.
They call me Voch Luther King in the chat. What was the question, bro? My bad.
Yeah, man. What do you see like as far as this offseason? What are your last final thoughts on the Cowboys? What they need to do? I know it's still soon, but before the draft, before free agency come into play, what do you think that we need to do as far as this offseason?
Well, I'm draft guy, man, but trenches, man. Trench play is so important. I already made my case for Will Hernandez. Also, let me just say this, Cowboys fan. I just want us to be realistic as far as when draft time comes around. You know what I mean? Let's be realistic. So if you're a Cowboys fan and you want to hit me up on Twitter, yo, Voch Lombardi, you think we can get Roquan Smith? He'll probably be gone, fam. Tremaine Edmonds, whoever your favorite corner may be, they'll probably be gone. That's what happens when you win ball games. You end up drafting 19. You know what I mean? We're not gonna have those top picks like that. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Vita Vea might drop. Let's get Vita Vea out of our head, bro. Let's start looking at guys we can get later. There's a defensive tackle from Florida named Taven Bryan. I just did a film session on him. You would love to have that dude on your team. They got 2 gangsters in red helmets from North Carolina State University that showed up to the Senior Bowl and whooped everybody. Justin Jones, B.J. Hill. Either one of those guys, your interior defensive line would be fine. Let's get to know these guys a little better. Will Hernandez, Isaiah Wynn. We're not gonna get Quentin Nelson. Sorry. Sorry, you know what I mean. So let's just have a better understanding of the potential guys that we can get, and let's not waste our time thinking guys like Tremaine Edmonds is gonna fall to us. But free agency, man, I don't know, man. I will sacrifice Anthony Hitchens and one other guy to get Earl Thomas. You know what I mean? And I love Anthony Hitchens. That man plays. His foot could be broke. He gonna play football. And when we dealing with a Sean Lee that lays down and says ouch sometimes, who's not as reliable as you want him to be, you can always count on Hitch to be there. But man, I will sacrifice Hitch and Terrence Williams and 3 other people to get Earl Thomas on this team and just draft to fill in the spots. Cowboys Nation, don't panic. We may lose and gain some people, but the most important part is our core is intact. We got a quarterback, we got a running back. The offensive line is great. It can be greater. And we just building that defense slowly but surely, man. Free Randy Gregory.
They off the weed. All right, so Darreck, where can we find all the good product about the Dallas Prospect Show? Dallas Prospect Show, Darreck, you there? You live?
Yeah, I got you. There was like a weird distortion on the mic for a second, but I got you.
Yeah, I was saying, where can they find you at?
Oh, sorry. I didn't. We're in the wrap up now. The website is dallasprospect.com. You can also find us on Twitter at Dallas Prospect. It's basically a hub for all things Dallas sports and pop culture as well. So film review, gaming news, things like that are also there. But first and foremost, we are about Dallas sports.
Sports, that's what I'm talking about. Voch Lombardi, where can they find you at?
VOCHLOMBARDI on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and most importantly, YouTube. If you have a draft prospect that you're curious about, maybe a little inquisitive there, I do film breakdowns. I think I do it pretty well. I'm pretty informative, entertaining when I do it. Maybe kind of sort of. Swing by, drop a sub, drop a like, give me a couple views. It helps. I got a film session on Will Hernandez and Taven Bryant. If you missed the Senior Bowl, that's up there. Senior Bowl one-on-ones, O-line, D-line. I'm very much an O-line, D-line guy. All those videos are there. I'm commentating over them. So Law Nation, thanks for having me, man. Salute.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you for joining in. Just want to tell everybody that's in the chat box, shout out time. Italian Cowboy, shout out to you. Billy Murphy, Brian Peters, Jason G, J Farm. Shout out to you, Gerald, Tay Sports, and who else? Mr. Wright, Ace Plays, Seth. Shout out to you guys. Thank you guys for joining in to the show. And remember, you guys are listening to nothing but the best. Salute.
We do not need to draft a tight end.
We out. Man, no, I'm going to fight, man. We got to draft a tight end, brother.